good evening and welcome to episode 27 of Ox Sports Unleashed. Yes, we've been in your living rooms, your bathrooms, your jacuzzis, your steam rooms, your garages, your sheds, wherever you've watched us. We've been with you for the last 27 weeks. So thanks again for joining us tonight, or if you're watching this back, hi, and hope you're having a good week. Welcome to the number one sports show in Oxfordshire. I'm going to still say it. Welcome to Ox Sports Unleashed. Lots coming up tonight, bumper edition, so looking forward to lots happening. Loads of football, loads of cricket, loads of Formula Ford, and obviously got to start with rugby, haven't we?
We've got to start with rugby, absolutely.
How was it? You were commentating rugby for...
We don't want to ruin the moment for anybody watching, but yeah, Chinner went up to Birmingham Moseley on Saturday. They were top of the league. We've been following them all season, haven't we? And they've been absolutely flying. And they were away to Birmingham Moseley knowing that they just needed a couple of points, so potentially sort of 2 bonus points over the last 2 games would clinch the title. I went up there to do some commentary for the BBC, thinking it was going to be a really nerve-wracking afternoon for Chinner as they sort of look to just close out the title. I'm giving it the game away now, aren't I? But they did close out the title. I was a bit of a spoiler alert, and they were absolutely dominant away at Birmingham Moseley. And we have the highlights from that game with yours truly commentating. And thank you very much to John Vaughan, former Chinner captain, scrum half, bit of a legend. He jumped in when he was when needed to help me out when I couldn't work out what the penalties were for. But it was a really good day, big crowd, fantastic setup as well up at Birmingham Moseley, by the way. And Chinner will be playing Championship Rugby next season. Here are the highlights from that fantastic afternoon in the National League One. Now, Birmingham, of course, taken short this time and therefore have won the line out, and it's in the corner and a Moore being pushed towards the line, and really powerful Moore. There's a chance here for a try because it's right on the line, and it is a try to Chinner. Chinner have taken the lead with their first real attack of any. That's the voice of John Vaughan, former Chinner captain, who's joining me today. There's a chance here for Chinner again as they break away, and here is an opportunity. It's going to be another try, and it's going to be Ollie Curry, and fantastic turnover of the ball, and Chinner all of a sudden lead by 10 points to 0, and this one pretty much under the post, just to the right side of the post. And this is the conversion as well from George Warboys. So there you go, Chinner leading by 12 points to 0. We are absolutely, so it was a tight and cagey first 15, and there's going to be another try here because there's another turnover, and we're going to have a third Chinner try, and this is absolutely fantastic for Chinner. But as you say, there's a long way to go.
Long way to go, and Chinner have the advantage of the.
If it's getting close,
play.
And now there's another chance for another try here for Chinner, and there's going to be a great opportunity. It's going to go into the corner, and it's try number 4 for Chinner. That's the bonus point as well already. Morgan Passman goes over the line. In a moment or two, we're going to be looking at Chinner leading by 26 points to 0 here in Birmingham. Oxford City still level 0-0 with Oldham Athletic at the Roar Charging Stadium as well, so they're holding Oldham at the moment as Chinner look to push forward again over the 22 as they're sniffing another scoring opportunity, and there is a scoring opportunity now because pushing right towards the line and held
big
up on the line.
On the big charge there, straight through. Chinner now with numbers.
Yeah, and over to the right side, and this is picked up, and it's going to be a try in the corner, and it's try number 5 for Chinner. George Warboys, but Chinner leading by 31 points to 0 as we head into the dying moments. Good looking effort there, and it is a really good conversion as well from George Warboys.
The guy's an absolute machine.
Penalty taken quickly,
Warboys off.
And it's going to be George Warboys going in towards the corner, and it's going to be another try for Chinner. A quickly taken penalty. George Warboys peeled away, and he's gone over, and it's dreamland here in Birmingham because it's Birmingham Moseley 0, Chinner 38. It's been an absolutely fantastic first half, straight down the middle from George Warboys, and that is 40-0. That's half time. You're listening to BBC Radio Oxford Sport on BBC Sounds. Birmingham Moseley 0, Chinner 40 in National League 1, and Chinner just half an hour away from the title, and there's a real chance here for try number 7, and it's going to be try number 7, I'm pretty sure, and indeed it will be, into the corner, and it's another try for Chinner. We're 10 minutes into the second half. Very, very happy that it isn't in many ways.
And that's the potential weakness of Chinner's scrum as it powers forward and the referee penalises Chinner. Oh, that's a great nudge through, and Passman,
referee
the guy's
played
an absolute tank.
Referee played the advantage there. It would have been a penalty, but he's allowed play to go on. There's going to be another try here, and it's going to be another one. Try number... There you go, congratulations to Chinner, 52-0. Not really the nerve-wracking afternoon we were expecting, not hoping for, because it was quite comfortable really, brilliant stuff. We've been following them all season. That is one monumental achievement for Chinner, a very small club, albeit with lots of community, and we've met Fran Ronan, haven't we? We've seen the mini rugby going on there as well, and fantastic to see a club of Chinner's calibre getting into the National League, into the Championship even. So just one division below the Premier League, the Premiership.
Fantastic.
Absolutely incredible. And hopefully later on, we've got a few technical issues. We may be able to bring you an interview with Nick Easter later on in the programme. If we can't, we'll put that out on our social media channels. But Nick Easter, World Cup England player, a couple of World Cup appearances for England, and he said to me, and you'll hopefully hear it in the interview, it was right up there with one of the biggest achievements of his career. So that really sums up just how good it was. Congratulations also, by the way, we need to say this, Oxford Harlequins, who won the Regional 1 Midlands, and they have got themselves into the National League. So Rugby Union in Oxfordshire really, really going strongly at the moment. Banbury had a decent season as well. It's just fantastic to see. And we will be following Chinner's exploits next season in the Championship.
We certainly will. Very exciting times.
Yeah, right, we're going to change over now to the round ball, and you might have just heard a little bit of a snippet within that commentary about Oxford City. They were at home to Oldham Athletic on Saturday. Obviously City already relegated from the National League, sadly, into the National League, probably North, I have to say. But they hosted Oldham on Saturday, and I remember I was listening to Andy Gate, and he was saying what a story. 20 years ago, Oxford City were playing at Cutslow Park, and Oldham Athletic were playing Manchester United and Newcastle in the Premier League, and they met as equals on Saturday, and here are the highlights from that game against Oldham.
Finds Watson. City trying to play their way out the back. Phillips, right-footed ball down the line, looking for Harvey Greenslade, goes one-on-one, no foul given. Harvey Greenslade's in on goal here. Free shot for Greenslade, and it's a big opportunity for the Bristol Rovers loanee, but he couldn't quite find the target. That's twice that's happened today, so Oldham getting stung by that on a couple of occasions. Big game for them today. They need to win to keep their playoff hopes alive, however slim they may be. They need to win every game pretty much, but it is doable for them with the side of their quality. But they're being made to work today by City. And here's Aaron Williams-Michel. Good crossing towards the box, and Harvey Greenslade flung his body at that. And a good run from Lundstrom, pinched off his toes. Fleet just looking for an option, doesn't have one, but he plays it down the line, and Greenslade will keep it in here. Harvey Greenslade, he's got an option with Fleet, who's continued his run. Fleet goes towards goal. It's a better shot from Fleet. Not really. Kick goes straight into Oxford City's possession. There's a few groans in that Oldham end. A few murmurs of come on Oldham, trying to get behind their team, but it's Oxford City who are doing the pressing at the moment. Another chance here for Greenslade. Takes a good touch, Greenslade. There's an opportunity for a shot here. He does take a shoot. O'Connell now, neat ball through to Williams-Bichelle, but when Bichelle tried to find Josh Ashby making the run, the pass is loose and given away. Garner now, header into the path of Phillips appeals for a foul against Ashby, not given, and now Oldham could be in. The ball bounces right in front of Norwood, takes the ball down inside the area. Norwood moves it off the post, bounces out to Norwood again, and he sets it wide of the post. Raglan, Gardner, ball forward again. That's where Oldham are getting their look, and it's taken down well. Another chance, and it's just flashed across goal. This time from Hallam Ho. Still moving the ball, Oldham. City back in their numbers defending. 11 men behind the ball, trying to attack every cross that comes in, and there is one now. Cleared, only as far as Greenslade though, nips in ahead of Nathan Sherron. Again, still City can't clear their lines. Another chance on the edge of the box. Here's fired towards goal. Brilliant save from Tom Watson. He's had another shot saved in this second half. McEachran though for City. He's got space to run into. He's got Greenslade in front of him. McEachran finds Greenslade, but he leaves it for Moore inside the box. Is there an option? Moore shapes for a shot, does shoot, saved by blocked by Sashev, and into Ashby. Brilliant save from Matthew Hudson this time. Side of it. Ashby's put the ball down. Big opportunity here for City. If he can get it over the wall and in, I don't think Hudson can do a lot about it. Ashby, it is over the wall. It's another save from Hudson. And as soon as I say that...
Usually I'll be speaking to you if Oxford City had drawn 0-0 with Oldham, and I'll be saying what an amazing point that was. Still a great point, but perhaps should have won it.
Yeah, really good performance. Out of possession, really good. In possession, played some really good stuff, and probably would have had goal of the season if the move came off right at the end with Zach McEachran and Alfred Potter involved. But I thought overall it was always going to be a difficult battle. Oldham are a very good, strong team, but I thought we limited them to not too much. I know they hit the post. They had a couple of half chances, but I thought our shape all game was really good, and the discipline as well. So yeah, really good performance. We'll take the draw, take the point. Boys done really well. Could have nicked a win there, but I think the main importance was putting a good display, and I thought we did that.
Ross Jenkins there after that 0-0 draw with Oldham Athletic in the National League. One more game for Oxford City in the National League this Saturday away to Altrincham. Banbury United have had, frankly, a shocking season and a shocking last 14-15 games, I have to say, since the dismissal of Mark Jones. And they went up to Chorley at the weekend on Saturday, already relegated, having lost in midweek, very long trip midweek, Thursday night up to Spennymoor. Then they had to go again just 2 days later, another long trek north up to Chorley. And this is the I say highlights. This is the action from the Chorley game, and yeah, I hesitate to say highlights because it was another disappointing afternoon.
much, as always, for coming up. It's been a tough old afternoon. I think when we looked at the team sheet, your squad very much stretched to the full. You've had to put a lot of youngsters in there as well. Your thoughts on today's game?
Well, you know it's going to be a difficult afternoon when you've got eight out injured and one suspended. You know, really proud of the boys. They've all come in and they've done a job. And even when you lose 3-0, and I know Chorley had a lot of the ball and a lot of chances, but we caused our own problems on the first 2 goals. We lose the ball on the halfway line, and you give him great credit. He's seen James off his line, and it's 1-0. And we do it on a regular basis, that we give goals away. But I've made the decision, so we just have to keep going. And, you know, we got Boston at home on Tuesday night, and then we've got the last game against Tamworth. So, but people have always got somebody to blame, haven't they?
For yourself, Kevin, you mentioned you're not going to be manager next season. I think I've asked you this question. I'll ask it you again. I asked you last week. Would you like to see a role possibly for yourself going forward, or is that probably too soon to say?
I think when you look at fans' reactions and what have you, maybe not.
But with what you've got to offer, and you've got a lot of experience to offer,
But people unfortunately don't see that, do they? They only see what they see in front of them. You know, sometimes when you get abused like you did today, you wonder whether there's any point. You know, they want you to die, and that was one of the quotes that came back from fans there, and also calling you a word that you don't really want to repeat on air. You know, they've got their opinions. They don't even know Kevin Wilson. Everybody's got their opinion on me, but they don't know me. That's the sad side of it and the sad thing.
There you go, that's Kevin Wilson reflecting on the 3-0 defeat at Chorley, and we didn't play out the whole interview, I must be honest, because it was quite a distressing interview to listen to. Kevin Wilson coming in for some completely unacceptable abuse on Saturday, and I listened to the whole interview after the game. It was very, very emotional. He was very tearful, and we don't want to hear that sort of stuff. No, you know, Banbury United 100%. Have got into the league, and they've been in the league for 2 years. Kevin Wilson, you know, wears his heart on his sleeve, and yeah, it was really quite an upsetting interview to listen to. So I know that a lot of people have reacted and commented about that, but hopefully that sort of stuff doesn't happen again, because ultimately it's only a game, and yes, it's disappointing they've gone down, but it's just a game of football at the end of the day, and some of the abuse that he was subjected to, and other members of the Banbury United staff at the weekend, just totally unacceptable. Yeah. Sorry to bring the tone down slightly, but we need to mention it.
It shouldn't be happening in any sport, and certainly not at Banbury football. Stay tuned, because we will have midweek action from both Oxford City and Banbury later, so we see how they did in midweek as well. But that takes us to our normal segment of our firm of solicitors, Lock, Lyon and Ryde, or as I like to call them, the best Blue Peter trio, John Noakes, Peter Purvis and Val Singleton. Here's Lock, Lyon and Ryde.
Time to welcome my 2 guests, Paul Lyon and Patrick Lock. So we'll start this week's look back at last weekend's football with Oxford United. And Paul, Des Buckingham seems to have got United finally into top gear with 3 wins on the bounce, including a 5-0 demolition of Peterborough United on Saturday.
He's got them firing at the right time, hasn't he, Colin? It's exactly when you need to get your form at the end of the season, when you're pushing for the promotion and the playoffs. And 4 wins in 5 now. United are top of the form table. They're even above Portsmouth. 4 wins and a draw in the last 5 games, and unbelievable. Peterborough's obviously a good team for United. They've obviously got the hoodoo sign on Peterborough this season. 13 goals, 3 clean sheets in 3 matches. Unbelievable performance. And you could say, though, that Peterborough, having won the cup at Wembley a week ago, maybe their mind was on that, or the celebrations were maybe too much for them, and they weren't on the game on Saturday. But you know, Peterborough, it's a big game because they were just behind United. No, sorry, just in front of United. United are just behind Peterborough, and those 3 points have really cemented the position in the playoffs for United. So hopefully they can push on and get another win this Saturday and keep the run going.
Even more impressive because their centre-back and captain Elliot Moore was out, as well as Cameron Brunigan. You know all about losing your midfielders and central defenders, don't you, Paul? And at the wrong time, that could be crucial for City, but United seem to have bounced back.
Yeah, tell me about it, losing your midfield players. Yeah, losing Elliot and Cameron is a big loss for United, but they obviously managed to gel it together on the day. And sometimes that happens, doesn't it? You know, someone comes in, has an opportunity and has a good game, and they've done brilliantly well to get that win. And I guess that'll give the manager a bit of a headache when those two come back again. What are you going to do? Are you going to change a winning team? I mean, they've won the last 3 games. United have won 5-0, 4-0, 4-0. That's unbelievable, isn't it? It's yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So now you were down at City on Saturday, Paul. A point at home against a former league side in Oldham would have been quite a result at the start of the season. It's a shame that players like Zach McEachran are coming back to fitness too late to stop relegation, Paul.
Yeah, poor Zach. It's not been his season, has it? After the season he had last year, where he made the team of the season for the National League South, and he's been dogged with injury this year. And he did come back at the end of 2023, but got injured again. But it's great to see him come on the pitch, and you could almost see straight away when he came on Saturday what we've missed the last few months. He came on and was creating stuff, and we had lots of chances, and he set up a few opportunities, and we could have actually nicked the game at the end. And they made the Oldham goalkeeper man of the match because he made a couple of really good saves at the end there to keep them out. And with the Oldham fans saying you're not fit to wear the shirt, that's always a good sign for the opposition, isn't it? And we came away disappointed. We thought we should have won. I know the game doesn't mean anything now because we're bottom of the league, but it would have been great to get a win over Oldham Athletic. But clean sheet and a 0-0. It was probably fair on the day. They had a few chances as well, but if we'd have nicked the win, I think nobody would have complained.
All right, so meanwhile, over 1,000 down at City again, Paul, 2 or 3 times the average lower league gate. Do you think some of those home fans will stick with City next season?
Hopefully, we had 1,200 there on Saturday, 600 of our own and 600 from Oldham. And bearing in mind that Oxford United were at home Saturday, for us to get 600 of our own fans was really good. So hopefully they'll come back next season. They'll like the style of football we're playing, and they might see a few more wins next season, hopefully. And it's good, to see the numbers. We've averaged over 1,000 fans a game at home this year. That's never happened before at the Court Farm since we've been there. So let's hope we can keep it up. Obviously, we won't get so many supporters next season from the away teams, but if we can just maintain the level of home supporters and keep the average up, then that'll be great.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Colin.
Patrick, the headline in your report for the non-league paper read, "It's a tale of two keepers in a stalemate." Is that why you gave it 2 stars?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it was probably different stories per each half. I mean, the first half was probably a 1 out of 5, quite generous actually, maybe even 0 out of 5. Second half was better, probably 3 stars on its own. So I guess go straight down the middle, go for 2. But yeah, it's one of those games where 0-0 probably just about fair. Both teams probably felt they probably could have nicked it in the second half. There's a few good saves. I mean, particularly the Oldham keeper made 2 really good saves from Josh Ashby in the last 10 minutes. One in his top left corner, one in his top right corner. Ashby trying to find his weaknesses, but couldn't really. But I think if City had won, I don't think it would have been undeserved at all. I think City were probably the better team in the second half. But Tom Watson did pull off one really good save actually, and we did get one let off actually when James Norwood decided to blast over the bar when he had a open goal really. But yeah, I think overall it was probably about a 2-star game, considering the whole 90 minutes.
I think you've seen every team in the National League play this season. You've only seen Ashby making a fleeting appearance towards the back end of the season. But I mean, do you think Ashby on form on his day, do you still think he's one of the best midfielders in the league, National League, or wherever he ends up in the north or the south?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You'd say all 3 of those midfield core, that Fleety, Reach Fleet, Josh Ashby, Zach McEachran, if they're on song in a team together, they could definitely be a force. And I think that's kind of the saddest thing to City this year, is that it's just been such little minutes on the pitch for all 3 of them together. And when you look back the last couple of seasons and how crucial those 3 were in the National League South teams that got the playoffs and then promotion. And I think it would have been really good to see how the 3 of them together would have got in this league, because I think, especially if they're all fit and firing, I think Zach McEachran would have definitely caused way more problems in the team. Yeah, I think Obviously, I mean, at this point of the season, I should probably say no, they're rubbish, shouldn't we? Because obviously, City want to keep them and try and keep them out of the shot window. But yeah, I think both of them could probably get moved. All of them could probably get moved higher up the pyramid if they really wanted to.
All right, Patrick. Well, we know that Oxford City are down. Banbury, their relegation was confirmed last week as well. They also parted company with their manager. We already heard that tearful episode. Didcot are also down, but can you take us through the rest of last weekend's results, please, and try and find some good news on how the table stood, and also what footy fans have got looked forward to this weekend, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken in recent weeks actually about how I'm finally starting to find some more positive news in the results over the few weeks, and actually, thankfully, the trend does continue this week across the non-league calendar. Didcot Town, they got their revenge actually on Plymouth Parkway. They fell to defeat 3-2 at Believer Park a few weeks ago, and they won by the same scoreline at the Luke Meadow this week. So that's good, some good revenge for that. They actually had to come from 2-0 behind actually, and 2-0 behind in the opening 10 minutes as Plymouth started quickly and actually had a penalty to go 3-0 up, but Lee Bedwell made a save there to keep it at 2, which actually proved to be a crucial moment, because on the half-hour mark, the deficit was halved when Robbie Gallagher flicked a ball over a defender's head and ran on one-on-one with the keeper, and made absolutely no mistake as he slotted it past the keeper into the bottom corner to make it 2-1. And just 8 minutes later, Gallagher levelled the scores. It's a corner which was flicked on, and he reacted quicker. So there's no one near him actually, as he was able to flick it past the keeper and make it 2-2. So 40 minutes in, 4 goals, and the turnaround was pretty much complete. Then there was a spell with no goals, but Didcot completed the turnaround when they got a penalty of their own with 5 minutes to play. Tobias Browning stepped up from the spot, made no mistake as he sent the keeper the wrong way. So a very impressive 3-2 win for them there. And this week we have a much happier Jamie Heapy speaking to us after the game, and this is what he said to the Didcot media team.
What can you say about that today?
Oh dear, when we were 2-0 down after about 14-15 minutes, I thought, oh, here we go. Not today, boys. Lee made some good saves, to be fair. Like, after that, penalty save, other saves, and we just weren't at the races at all. Like, completely not at it. We had a good warm-up, we looked ready in the dressing room, but when I went out there, bang. I was concerned, put it that way. And then
I thought the penalty save was a turning point for
Yeah.
me. It were a big
Yeah.
shift in momentum,
Yeah.
and for the rest of that half, we dominated.
Yeah.
Obviously, to get one back before half time.
Yeah, we said on the sideline we needed a goal before half time. We got
two. Going all
Yeah,
square.
it was a bonus.
Really.
Yeah, because we hadn't played well, I didn't think. We were off it, but we gradually were getting a hold in the game, and then to go in at 2-2, I would have taken that, and then I had to have a few choice words at half time, and they did the business second half. Yeah.
And in the Southern League Division 1 Central, Kidlington were the big winners of the weekend. They won 4-1 over Leighton Town. And actually, they went into the break 1-0 down against Leighton at Yarnton Road. But Deck Shepherd levelled 5 minutes into the second half with a long-range strike into the bottom corner. Josh Davies put Kidlington ahead, actually, just before the hour mark through Charlie Bacon's cross. And then Meki Bessessa Grant made it 3 just after the hour mark to give them a bit of a cushion. And then a very impressive second half was sealed right on time as Charlie Bacon grabbed a goal of his own. And again, we have the interview here, and here's what Ben Sadler said after the game.
So, joined here with Ben after today's victory against Leighton Town on today. Ben, what's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, really good performance. I think anyone here wouldn't argue that we didn't deserve to win, and we didn't deserve to win by a big margin. We had loads of chances. I thought we were the better team. Apart from the first 15 minutes, I think we completely controlled it and thoroughly deserved to win.
So, obviously going down into the break 1-0 down, it's got to be tough, obviously, knowing the way this season's gone. But what did you say at half-time to rally the lads around and, you know, probably one of the best second halves we've seen this season?
Yeah, mate, I'm pleased you said that. The second half, half time was just about being calm. We'd been the better team in the first half. They scored there was more added time played than was meant to be played. They scored then. We just had to pick ourselves up, keep playing our football. We felt that one goal might lead to two because they haven't got too much to play for, and we knew they'd lost the last 5 games. And thankfully we scored early. Brilliant goal from Deck Shepherd.
And obviously, finally, we've now scored 14 goals in 6 games. That must feel good. What's changed around the camp?
I think it's just been getting on the front foot. There's been a couple of changes of personnel. I think Charlie Bacon's given us a nice balance with him and Mika with pace out wide. Today we had a lot more competition, so the bench was stronger. And it's just been trusting the lads, getting them on the front foot. We don't want to, I don't want to manage a team that scores and sits back for the whole game and crosses our fingers that we win. So we know that we're going to have some games we probably lose 4-2, 4-3, but we'll also have games like today where we win 4-1.
Yeah, so 2 positive results we've heard from there, but Tame United's survival hopes took a bit of a blow. They lost out to a last gasp Robert Parker goal against Biggleswade Town to lose there. I mean, they're still 6 points clear of the bottom place side, but they're in that position where there's a relegation playoff. But I think Tame are potentially safe, looking like they might be safe on points per game, but I'm sounding like I know how it works at the bottom of the Southern League with the relegation places, but I admittedly don't really. So what I may have said may be right, may be wrong there. So please don't come shooting a messenger if that's not the case.
I'll check it out, I think, with their manager and see and we'll report back on that one a bit later on. But anyway,
yes,
back to you,
maybe in a couple of weeks when we get to the final weeks. Yes. North Lee's poor run actually has continued. They were beaten 4-0 away at Waltham Abbey on Saturday. Looking at our Step 5 results and in the Combined Counties League, Ardley United were the big winners as they beat North Greenford United 4-0. Anaclet Odiamba gave them the lead after 28 minutes, but all the remaining goals came in the second half. James Williams grabbed 2 in 3 minutes just prior to the hour mark to put it pretty much beyond doubt there, but Jimmy Cadbeard rounded off the big win late on. It's a big margin of victory for them there. Elsewhere, though, in that division, it was 2 defeats for our Oxfordshire sides. Milton United were defeated 3-0 away at Broadfield United, while Wallingford and Crowmarsh were beaten 3-1 at home by Hollyport. In the Hellenic Premier, and Wantage Town survival hopes were dashed a bit after their good recent form. They were beaten away at Cinderford Town. They were looking like they were going to put on a bit of a great escape, actually, at the bottom of the Hellenic Premier. They won a few games in a row, but unfortunately, that's a couple of losses in a row now. So still a bit of work to do if they want to survive in that division. And finally, in the Step 5 action in the United Counties League, Easington Sports were also beaten. They went down 3-1 at home to Ayleston Park. There was just one of our Hellenic Division 1 sides, our Step 6 sides, in action this week. It wasn't league action, though, but Clanfield 85 lost out in the Supplementary Cup quarter-final against University of Bristol Intramural, they're called. It's a bit of a mouthful, that name, I have to say. Finished 2-2 after 90 minutes, but Bristol... It's a very long penalty shootout, actually. Bristol side won 9-8 after penalties, so... Again, probably just about got to the goalkeepers, I think. But Clanfield losing out there. And then finally on Sunday, just one game, actually. Oxford United women weren't in action, but Oxford City's women were in action, but were beaten by a Madeline Brown goal away at Warminster Town there. So it's just a narrow 1-0 defeat. So we'll have a look at the league tables, and Oxford United, after their amazing form of recent weeks, have, 11-0 aggregate the last 3 games, is it, Colin?
They've said early on to Paul, just going through it, at 13 goals in 3 games. And
13-0, yes, my maths let me down there, didn't it? Yes. Yes. But that amazing form has seen them climb back into 6th in League One, and probably the side now that have got that momentum heading into a potential playoff campaign, which you always say is the team to beware of. when you're heading into those games. Oxford City, I mean, obviously their points, the bottom place finishes unfortunately guaranteed now, so obviously no change for them. As we've mentioned, Banbury United's relegation was unfortunately confirmed, but they still 22nd in the National League North. Didcot Town, even after their win, still bottom of the Southern League Premier South. Northleigh dropped to 12th in the Southern League Central. Probably just about done enough to stay up. Killington 17th and Tame 18th in the Southern League Central. I think both of them should probably have enough to not finish bottom. So as I say, it's just this potential bizarre playoff which might settle that. And then finally, after their game on Sunday, Oxford City Women are 4th in the Southern Region Women's Football League. So coming up this weekend, actually we start before the weekend. Oxford United, they're on TV on Friday night as they host Stevenage at the Kassam and live on Sky Sports Football. In the National League, Premier and North, it's the final league game of the season, which seems to be early this season. Oxford City, they are away at Altrincham in the Premier. It's a 12:15 kickoff actually, so it'll be an early start for us on Saturday morning. I think we'll be leaving about 9 o'clock, I think. Banbury United, they got a 3 o'clock and they got a very tough test as they welcome the National League North champions, Tamworth, to the Banbury Plant Hire Community Stadium. Tamworth, who have earned 2 successive promotions actually, so very impressive from them. Didcot Town, not their final league game of the season, but they're away at Poole Town. In the Southern League, Division 1 Central, Northleigh host Biggleswade Town, Tame United host Kings Langley, and Kidlington travel to Biggleswade FC. And I always get mixed up when you talk about Biggleswade Town and Biggleswade FC. But I think I got it the right way around this time. And then quickly on Sunday, Oxford United women, they're back in action after a couple of weeks off. They host MK Dons women at the Royal Charging Stadium. And there's no game for Oxford City women this coming weekend. And I think that's it. And back to you, Colin.
Yeah, well, that wraps up this week's review of last weekend's Oxfordshire football. Thank you, Patrick Lock and Paul Lyon. Stay tuned, though, for much more Ox Sports Unleashed.
Oxford City having another bye. They'd probably turn up against bye again and perhaps draw that one as well. I don't know.
They might not, they might draw that one.
You never know. Thanks there to John, Peter and Val, my favourite Blue Peter presenters.
Where would Shep?
Under the table, probably. But thanks again to Lockline and Ryde for a fantastic roundup of local football for us. So thanks again to those guys. That takes us on to Witney Hockey and the last round of results actually for them for this season. And I'm guessing that it will be Witney men's first. And the first 11 had a good 4-2 win at Basingstoke, and the seconds also had a good win 4-3 against Newbury and Thatcham thirds. So some good results there, finishing up Witney men's hockey. And over to the ladies, the second team that we've been following through the guise of our roving reporter Kim Fowler that we had on just a few weeks ago, talking about all things Witney hockey and also the London Marathon. They had a bit of a thumping, unfortunately. They lost 5-0 to Marlow thirds. And ladies thirds, they lost 3-1 to Oxford Hawks fifths. Then a boring, shall I say boring?
Yeah.
No, boring 0-0. The ladies' force against Abingdon
Probably
twos.
get loads of calls.
Yeah, we probably will. That's not good, is it? I like a 0-0 actually, being an Arsenal supporter.
That's not surprising with your cricketing.
Yeah, ladies' fifths had a good 2-1 victory against Abingdon thirds. So that was a roundup of the last fixtures for Witney Hockey. For 2023-24 season. So well done to them, and we will obviously be covering them again next year.
We will, and hopefully more.
Yeah,
hopefully
absolutely.
More
get some
well.
more live footage. We've also got just a little bit of a profile from Oxford Saints, our American football team. This is a certain Ian Hiscock, sat-nav to his friends. But you'll see his profile there. But just to also reiterate that 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays is junior training down at Tyldesley Park, and again at Tyldesley Park on the Sunday. It will be 12:45 to 4 o'clock for the seniors. So if you're looking to be a budding American footballer, get yourself down to Tyldesley Park. They'll be pleased to see you. And their season is starting very, very shortly. So we wish them all the very best in their coming season. Hope to get some footage for that. We've actually been hooked just recently to the Aston Villa game. No spoilers, but went to a penalty shootout. But we'll let you have a little watch of that if any Villa fans are watching. So I think nicely over to you.
Yeah.
KDog.
Just before we move on to the midweek games, which we'll round up in a moment, a couple of things I wanted to say. First of all, congratulations to Andy Gate from Oxford City Football Club. He ran the Manchester Marathon at the weekend, did it in about 4 hours 20-ish.
That's not bad.
Really,
Not
really
bad.
good.
Well done, Andrew.
Great stuff, Andy. He was training very hard for it. I could probably just about manage maybe the 300 yards of it perhaps, but yeah, not the rest of it. If you do want your club or sport featured over the next series, which will be coming at you in September, then the email address is oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. We're hoping to grow this show next season, next year, and we will also come back with a few little snippets during the summer. The series ends in a couple of weeks' time, but we won't be away from your screens permanently. That might upset them that we'll be back on their screens. But we'll certainly be dropping some sporting coverage in over the summer because obviously the cricket season's starting, the gridiron, the American football. Looking forward to seeing some of that, and also, of course, the athletics, and we'll hopefully get Radley Athletics in before the end of our series just to talk about the up-and-coming track and field season, which is always really good to watch. And Radley, one of the strongest clubs in Oxfordshire. There's lots of really strong athletics clubs, Whitney Roadrunners and Abingdon Amblers and the White Horse Harriers. Fantastic athletics clubs across the county. We'll hopefully just preview the season ahead before the end of our series. Right, as promised, on to some more football now. The midweek games, we had Oxford City playing again and we had Banbury United playing again. Could either of them get a victory? Well, you'll find out in a moment or two. First of all, Oxford City were at home to promotion-chasing Bromley, the Mick Livesey derby, as I like to call it, because Mick Livesey moved on to from Oxford City via Woking to Bromley. And City were at home to Bromley on Tuesday in the National League.
After a good start to the season and a bit of disappointment after that. Crowhouse into the box here with an opportunity for Bromley. It's Ben Crowhouse, finds the back of the net. Another goal for Ben Crowhouse. It was crafted down that right-hand side and Crowhouse entered the box and it's a delicate finish just beneath Tom Watson into the bottom corner, and Bromley have a very early lead here at the Roar Charging Stadium, and it's Ben Crowhouse, the man in form. Odeteo and Cheek both standing over it. It will be Idris Odeteo. Goes for the strike, finds the back of the net. What a goal that is from Idris Odeteo. Bromley have two in the opening 5 minutes, and it's a first goal in a Bromley shirt for Idris Odeteo, who absolutely rifles it into the back of the net from the edge of the box. Well, he made that one his own, and the finish was emphatic. And here they come again, Oxford City, but a good tackle there from Whiteley. Now Weston driving through the middle. Still going Miles Weston in towards Michael Cheek. It's brilliant from Weston. Michael Cheek with the effort. Whiteley across the face of goal, and he does get his goal, Corey Whiteley. He was denied from close range not long ago. Excellent play there from Miles Weston. What a pass it was into Michael Cheek, who chipped it over the goalkeeper. And Corey Whiteley was in there at the back post. He had to outstretch his leg just to divert it into the back of the net. Corner delivered in at the back post there, headed goalwards. I think it was Phillips. Great save there by Smith. Might come out to the edge of the box. It will come out here for Humphrey Ewers. Another good save by Smith. Fleet again. Fleet pinging it forwards there over the top for Greenslade, who takes a good touchdown. Opportunity to find the back of the net, and he does. And Bromley's hopes of a clean sheet are over.
Ross, a 3-1 defeat tonight against Bromley, who are flying high in the league. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, frustrating one. We've gifted them 3 goals. They didn't really have to work too hard for them, which is disappointing. But yeah, it had a bit of a a weird feel to it. It had a bit of a sort of a pre-season feel to it. It was quite quiet and flat. We had to really try and generate some momentum, and I thought we've done really well in possession at times to keep it off them. They're obviously a top team. They're at the top of the league for a reason. Very hard to beat. Very well structured. But we've given them 3 goals. So it's really hard sometimes to find so many positives because of the goals we just give away. And today was a prime example of that. We play really well. We keep possession really well. We make them chase, but the damage is done from sort of the first 5 minutes with those 2 sloppy goals. So yeah, hard one, disappointing, but loads of positives in there, but just disappointing with the goals.
So there you go. The answer was no, they couldn't get a victory on their last home game of the season. Thank you to Bromley for their commentary. I think Andy Gate was perhaps still recovering from his marathon exploit. So really good commentary there from Bromley Football Club in that last home game of the season. Oxford City 1, Bromley 3. Not a great start to that game, was it? A couple of goals down after 10 minutes. It's always going to be hard to come back.
Banbury, decent goals against them.
Yeah, they were. They're a good side, Bromley. They're up there for a reason, and there's every chance they could get themselves into the Football League if they get through the playoffs. Hopefully they won't, because I'm looking to hopefully see Solihull through, because my old mate Andy Wing, potentially. Okay, on to Banbury United. They have finally caught up their backlog of fixtures. They had a midweek game at home to Boston United. Need I say that they didn't pick up the points, but here are some brief highlights from that game.
Rossi!
We don't just throw this together, do we?
Yes, we do. We like the goals, so we wanted to show them again. It was that good.
Anyway, that was the game Thursday last week. Banbury United losing up at Spennymoor. Sorry about that. We do make the odd boo-boo, don't we? Yeah. And we have done there. Banbury United lost 1-0 at home to Boston United on Tuesday evening. And their last game of the season is at home to Tamworth, the champions, on Saturday. So a bit of a thankless task there, and I dare say Banbury would be quite keen to get the season done and dusted. A couple of other midweek results to mention, really key midweek results. Kidlington picked up another brilliant win away to Barton Rovers yesterday, 4-1. So another 4 goals for Kidlington. It looks as though they're pretty much safe now from relegation. Great news there. Ben Sadler's really turned things around there. Thanks to Charlie for providing all the details on that. Yes, Charlie, will possibly see if we can get the tech sorted and get some live reports from the Senior Cup final next weekend, next Thursday, if we can. Sadly, some bad news though for Clanfield in the Hellenic League. They were hoping to win the Division 1 title this season. They ended up in the playoffs, but very sadly they lost in the playoff semi-final 3-0 to Sporting Club Inkbarrow this week on Tuesday evening. So they do not win the playoffs, and I'm sure they'll go again because they were really, really good this season. I saw them a couple of times, and the game they played against Malmö Victoria, they were far and away the most dominant side, and they've got a decent side there, to be honest, and hopefully we'll hear more good news from Clanfield next season, and you will get there, Clanfield. I'm sure you will. Darryl.
Yeah, we're supposed to be rounding off our series of goal of the season. Unfortunately, we haven't got round to doing the montage for you, but that will come out live next week. So please join us for that, where you can then vote on our social media channels of which you think, I should say, that will be the goal of the season. There are some crackers to choose from, but we'll do a poll and we'll see who comes out on top, and hopefully a trophy will be presented in our last show in a couple of weeks' time. So look out for that. Please, next week, and all on our social media networks. I think that takes us to our full results service for
it's a very full
this week.
results service.
It's a longer one, so if you want to make yourself a cup of tea now, it might be a good time to go.
Cheers, Darryl. All the hard work goes in.
But here's all the results from the local leagues from this last week of football action.
And rugby. There you go. We even managed to squeeze a few cricket results in there. The National Village Cup got underway last weekend. It was freezing, and a couple of games. Aston Rowan and Hook Norton getting through to the first round. The next round of the Village Cup, the first round proper. of the Village Cup is on Sunday week. Sorry for laughing. We know this is going to be a mistake. Now, if you want to watch this week's goal of the week, the producer's laughing his head off. Everybody watching, turn your heads 90 degrees to the left, no, to the right, and you can see this goal of the season. Apologies for this. We have no idea why it's gone this way, but this is the goal of the week, and it's a bit of a pertinent goal. It's the goalkeeper Sam Hibbard for Stonesfield coming up in the 4th minute of injury time to get that equaliser against RAF Bryce Norton, and that denied RAF Bryce Norton the title. As you can see, lots of celebrations there. Thank you very much to Jack Sale for sending that in. And Jack, I'm very, very sorry. Actually, if you turn your phone up that way, look, it's fine.
It's fine.
So just turn your phone 90 degrees. And it was a really good goal. Sam Hibbard, the goalkeeper, scoring that one to deny RAF Bryce Norton the title. That said, Hayley still have to win their last game if they are going to clinch the title ahead of RAF Bryce Norton. But it's the end of a brilliant season of local Whitney District football. We've had featured Deer Park Rangers, of course. They won their league this week as well, so fantastic. Well done, Ethan. Brilliant stuff, and we're really chuffed for you. And also, a quick mention to Didcot Town Youth as well, because they won their North Berks League title as well this week. So just get that one in there as well.
Some good news for Oxfordshire club.
Absolutely, and we have to have some good news, don't we? Because it's not all doom and gloom. So that's absolutely fantastic. We've mentioned it. The cricket has got underway. We've mentioned the Village Cup games, and we have got
young lads from the Oxfordshire 80s actually did some.
Yeah, Connor Rogan getting 41. A former Oxfordshire under-17 Steve Dobson bowling. What's going on there, Steve? 3 for 37.
Please text us on that.
It was only about 3 overs. He went round the park, as we say. Jacob Eaton got 3 for 29 for Aston Rowan as well.
Jacob.
So what was a really nice story actually from that Kingston Barbecue Aston Rowan game was Connor Rogan opened the batting with Chris Eaton, and Chris Eaton was the person that introduced Connor to cricket. So that was a really nice line there. Matt Rogan, Connor's proud dad, put that out on X this week, and always good to see youngsters doing well. Segueing into Oxfordshire youngsters doing well, Darryl.
Yeah, that was very well done, actually, I have to say.
We don't just throw it together.
Yeah, well.
Clearly we do.
We do. It was good news this week. Our Oxfordshire contingent to playing for Gloucestershire did well in their first county championship proper, because their first game was completely abandoned. So both Ben Charlesworth, 2 Red Incas, batted well down the order. Miles Hammond smashed a few as well. But the main stage was to Ollie Price, the person we interviewed on here for his tour in India with England A. So he had a good game, and we're going to show you some of the highlights of his innings now. 147.
Wow.
Start through, nice little on drive, always nice. Shot there. Down the ground.
Glad you're doing this.
A nice little tickle around the corner, very nice. And that's 50 for Ollie, and then just carried on. Peppered him with a little bit of short stuff, and he's equal to that. He's put that pull shot really well there, getting on top of it. Nice little fine one there. They did bowl some real sort of long ops at him, I have to say. But well done to Ollie for that 100. 16 fours in that 100. And again, even the spinners are bowling a little bit short to him here. A little bit fuller, getting the sweep in. And again there. So, sweep was productive. And a really good 147. It's like a snooker break, isn't it?
It is like a snooker break, yeah.
For Ollie Price. So well played, Ollie, and good luck for the rest of the season. We'll hopefully have some more highlights as we go through.
I'm glad you picked out the sweep shots, because I remember back at Wormsley, maybe last season, I caught a sweep shot and it was actually a cover drive or something, wasn't it? So I'm glad you were doing that and not me. In my defence, my eyesight was pretty poor.
It's a long way, isn't it, to the boundary?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely. obviously, a couple of weeks ago we had Brad Axe. I'm part of the Axe gang. I got very excited by that, as you can see on our social media. It's great to be a part of that. And we did want to just show you a little bit of his sparring this week, because he has turned professional and has his first bout on the 27th of April in Brentwood. It's against, we'll tell you who it's against in a moment, because there will be a picture of the person he is actually up against. But there's a bit of sparring. He's quite fast hands there, I think, really quick. He's, I think he looks in good fettle there. So we wish Brad all the success on the 27th of April. Definitely. I hope to get there, Brad. I will be in touch for some tickets. It's just I've got to change some coaching around, but I would love to be there and see you in your first professional fight. So the opponent for young Brad, the Axeman, is Edgar Kensky. So he's a bit of a character, I understand. So we hope and everything goes well for Brad, the Axeman Axe.
Yeah, with a name like Axe, it's going to go well, isn't it? It's just absolutely set for him. So good luck to Brad. Looking forward to seeing your first professional fight.
And I think the great thing is we've showcased so many sports on Ox Sports Unleashed, and this is why we want you to share any clips with us, any sport, any, like Stonesfield, if we put it up the right way. We will share those clips, and we want you to send us anything, an interview, something funny that's happened in a sporting arena. Please do send it to us at oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That email address again, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. And if you're looking to be a presenter, a producer, a social media guru, a reporter, a cameraman, whatever, please do get in contact with us again at that email address.
Get rid of him then, can't we?
So that would be good, wouldn't it? We also had, obviously, a few weeks ago, Ben Cox came in, and obviously last week we had a nice little vlog from him. Well, it continues this week, and after his amazing first run out at Silverstone last week, and we'll show you a few clips and photographs of his venture last weekend.
It was a solid first outing of the season for Ben Cox and Oldfield Motorsport just over the Oxfordshire border at Silverstone last weekend, as Formula Ford hosted its season opener at the home of British motorsport. Qualifying in 10th for the opening race, Ben quickly made up a couple of places in the 20-minute long race, although an incident for Andrew Rackstraw going into Brooklands brought out the safety car after just 4 minutes. Ben settled into 7th place, followed by his teammate Pavle Jacquier in 8th, and when the race resumed at the 9-minute mark, Ben was ready to fight his way into the top 5, but the front 8 cars were separated by less than 2 seconds. Jacquier managed to take Ben at Luffield, but a tangle with 2 other cars at the end of the Wellington Straight brought out the red flag with 4 minutes left on the clock, ending the race prematurely. Despite a no result for his teammate, Ben brought home some solid points for Oldfield Motorsport, and here's what he had to say after the opening race.
Ben, obviously you've been racing these for, 2 years, 2.5 years now, almost 3, haven't you?
This is the start of the 3rd season for me, so...
Yeah, start of the 3rd season, you know what you're doing, you've got to be pretty happy with how race 1 has gone. You've still got race 2 to go, but you started the day right.
Yeah, it's mainly surviving chaos. I think that's the first part, get through a race weekend to make sure you get to the end of the race first. To finish first, you have to finish first. Just a bit tactical moves, trying to get myself out of trouble and come home with P5 from 10th on the grid, so I can't complain too much about that.
Well, if you do the same again, you'll be looking all right for race 2, right?
Well, I'd like to do that. That'd be a great idea.
Great stuff, congratulations.
Starting from his finishing position in the first race, Ben kept up with the top 4, despite an excellent start from Alex Ames, who started in 3rd. The opening few laps went by with Ben driving his own race, free from competition in 5th, but the earlier DNFer, Andrew Rackstraw, made his way up to 6th from 19th on the grid, forcing Ben to set a new personal best lap time to try and stay in front. On lap 6, the pace of Rackstraw was just too much for Ben, as he made the move into Brooklands before hunting down the top 4 as Rackstraw set fastest lap after fastest lap. A good 3 seconds ahead of the next train of cars, Ben settled into his own race 8 minutes in, despite Morgan Quinn, who started from the back of the pack, siving through the grid up into 7th. Ben looked to come back at the top 5 as he closed down Lewis Fox, whilst the latter was battling Jeremy Fairbairn for 4th, as less than half a second separated the 3 cars with 8 minutes remaining on the clock. The battle raged on, allowing Quinn to join in on the act, along with Charlie Mann, as 5 cars were all within a second of each other. But with around 5 laps to go, both drivers got past Ben as he slipped to P8, although Mann was hit with a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Ben kept right on the tail of Mann though, less than 2 tenths behind, with 5 cars fighting for P4, with 4 laps to go. Clinging on was Ben in the search for more points, with 90 seconds remaining, and he made the move down the inside of Copse Corner on Jeremy Fairbairn to secure P7 on lap 18. But on the final lap, Fairbairn got his position back into Brooklands. With penalties to drivers up ahead, Ben finished in P6, 1 down from his starting spot, but showcased his skills as he battled drivers much more experienced than him. He ended the weekend with 26 points to his name as he sits 4th in the championship, with the next race at Donington Park coming up on the 11th of May. Back to you in the studio.
Brilliant stuff there from Ben Cox. Thank you very much to Work Experience Wes for his brilliant reporting. He loves his motorsport as Wes, and fantastic start for Ben Cox. We hope to get him into the studio next week to talk about those first 2 races. He will be in next week. So that's the Silverstone round out of the way, and terrific. And we'll definitely follow Ben all the way through the season, and hopefully we'll see you on the podium at some stage, Ben, this year, because you are a star in the making, I think, and looking forward to seeing how you do for the rest of this season.
Absolutely, 100%. Couldn't agree more, KDog. Well done, well said. And there you go. That is going to be appearing on the Formula Ford Championship car of Ben Cox.
Gonna cost.
No, it's fine.
Gonna cost.
I'll just creep it in there and stick it on.
Well, like you did with Sean Taylor.
Yeah, probably do that. But we will have Ben in next week to talk about that, and we'll present him with that, and I'm sure that will be on the car in the near future. Well, that about wraps it up for this week. We did have a bumper edition. We apologise that we didn't have the Nick Easter interview that KDog did. But we'll try and get that out on social media.
Maybe next week if we can.
Maybe next week because it's a great interview, and also it's a monumental achievement for Chinna Rugby. So we do want to highlight that a little bit more. And going into next week, why not? So I don't think that's a problem. So that just about wraps it up, does it, KDog?
It does, yeah. And hopefully next week, we'll have a first if we can get the technology sorted out. We may try and get you some live reports from the Senior Cup final. What could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong?
I mean, we've got a pro in Charlie Bell, so he'll be fine. It's just whether we can get the tech working or not. We think we can. We think we can. So we might get some live feeds, live reports from the Senior Cup final, which is next Thursday, and it's Tame United against Kidlington at Banbury United. So hopefully we'll get some coverage of that, and I suppose we can say it's Charlie's trial period for us. See if he's any good. If he's any good, he'll come in. Next year, I think Charlie's going to jump on board with us. He's just in the middle of his exams at the moment. So as Darryl said, anybody else that wants to get involved with us next season, we'll start again. We've got a couple more shows to go this year before the end of the football season. But if you want to get involved next season, the football season, please get in touch with us. We've said the email address a few times, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com, and we'll happily take reporters, directors, producers, presenters. They might kick us two off the screen. That might be good.
Get some more professional
absolutely.
People,
so it's your show, Oxfordshire, and we're very, very proud to bring it to you. But hopefully we can get it bigger and better over the coming years.
Absolutely, well said. So that does wrap it up. The week that the Premier League and the FA decided to scrap replays in the FA Cup.
And the week that Derek Underwood passed away as well.
My dad's favourite cricketer, Derek Underwood. I used to love watching him bowl. Just an absolute legend, Deadly Derek. He will be sorely missed. So thank you for watching again, wherever you've watched us. Join us again next Thursday, where we'll unleash some more Ox Sports. It's good night from me.
It's your round, isn't it? See ya.